Hello and welcome back. I haven't done anything since the last video on this inventory, and if you did watch till the end, well done. The start of this one is going to fix a couple of the problems that we had at the end of the last one. We had a lot of errors, so I'll demonstrate that quickly now. So grip the shotgun, drop it, and then if I spam the drop, oh, there's another issue. Get the shotgun and press drop, and I press drop again. It drops the sniper as well. I wasn't aware that it was going to do that, but I suppose it makes sense. There's the errors. If we look at the code, it's got an index. It's going to get that index and drop the item from that index. Now, I don't know if this array resizes when you remove something from there. So if there's two things in this array, and I remove the first one, will the second thing then be sitting at index 1? So when I press it again, it just drops the next thing as well. By the looks of it, that is what is happening. So I've got to solve that somehow. And I don't think you can set the inventory index selected to null because it's an integer. If I set it, it's going to be set to 0, which will be the first item in the array. What I can do actually, after we've done all this, if I set that to -1, there will not be a -1 in that array. Now it's going to throw up an error, I'm sure of it. But I think that'll stop this second item from dropping without it being selected. So shotgun, drop again. Yes, it worked. So it's not dropping the sniper now. But we're still going to get a bunch of errors, because it still tries to do a lot of stuff before it sets that to null. Or, yeah, so it's still trying to drop something. It's still trying to get something out of the array at -1, which will never do. So what we can do to stop those errors before we drop anything, we can get that, and we can check if it equals. I don't think we need a less than or a greater than. We can just do, does it equal -1, not -10, -1. It should never be lower than -1. It's never. I'm never going to subtract anything from it. That's all it's going to be there. I think that logic is sound. Does it equal -1? If it doesn't, then we can do all that fun stuff there. Let's see what happens. So drop a sniper. It doesn't drop anything else after. And we have no errors. That has fixed it. Brilliant. Glad that worked first time. Right, so that's all that working. We need to work on stackables now. Really do. I think that's going to end up. We might need to make a change to this, because we're setting the item name. We're not setting the stack size. So how much are we picking up? That needs to be plugged into there somewhere. To set that, and we've got stackable there to use for a branch, haven't we? Right. So I think first let's do small steps. So I just want to pick up a stackable item. I want it to show how much is in that stack, and pick up a stackable item. We show how much is in that stack, and that's it to start with. We'll get that done, and then we'll work on actually stacking things on top of each other. That's my least favourite part. Right, so currently I don't have any stackable items in the world. So what have I got? Let's have a look. Interactable pickups. Weapons. I don't think I've created any ammo for anything yet. Containers, lights, projectiles. No, this is just what shoots out. This is not what you pick up. So, right, let's start creating them. So pickups, we've got weapons. Let's new folder, ammo, and it's going to be a child of the master pickup. So create child blueprint class, and do I want master ammo? Yeah. So move that into there. Let's clear up any redirects now. Right. So pickups, ammo. We've got the master ammo. Create a child of view. Let's do rifle. I'm going to need 2 so I can check they're not stacking on top of each other and things like that. So we'll do rifle ammo. Blueprint. And duplicate. And we'll go for pistol. Now there's going to be no logic in these at the moment, and there's be very little anyway, because the ammo pickups and the projectiles that these things shoot are going to be 2 separate things. I don't think there's any point having them all as the same one. You could do it. So the projectiles that I've got set up, if I made them a child of the master pickup, I could drop them in the world and pick them up. But I think it's unnecessary to have all those in the world with all the logic that's contained in them and all the references to various different things, when all we need to pick up is these. Yeah, and we can work on how these reference that projectile some other time, or whether they don't reference that projectile, whether the gun references the projectile, so every gun can only shoot one type of projectile, and it will just deplete from these. So, but that's something to think about in the future. All right, so if we open these up, we've got our pickup struct. So they are stackable. Name for this is pistol ammo. Reference to self is pistol ammo. That's just so you can spawn it when you're dropping it. Mesh in the pack that I'm using, I think it does have some pistol pickups. There we go. Material, we can leave that blank, I believe. We'll see what happens when we put it in the world. Pickup type, we'll select ammo. Currently, this enumerator isn't in use, so this will be for different pages within the inventory. So if you remember, I was saying earlier we could have kind of a different page for the ammo, the weapons, and I'm going to have a widget switcher to flip between them all. So that's where that's going to be put into place. But so we'll set it correct anyway. Item struct. I don't know what you are. You've got item struct and pickup struct. What's this item struct? Have I just created a random Boolean variable called item struct within the pickup? Probably have. Okay, we'll look at that. So that's the pistol ammo. Compile, save, and let's do the same with the rifle ammo. I don't need a description at the moment. It is stackable. I didn't set the stack size on this. Let's put 10 in the pistol, 20 in the rifle. Rifle pickup, pickup type ammo. So I'm going to have a look, see what this random variable is here. I'm going to save before I change anything there though. I've had enough crashes. So if we go to master pickup, no, there's not. So go one higher than the master pickup, master interactable. There we go. I think what I've done is I was going to put the struct in the interactable and then realized that it actually should be in the pickup. So I'm hoping I can just remove this. Oh, remove this. Pile save. Let's do the same for the pickup. And yeah, it's gone. So yeah, I think that was just me trying to put the struct in the wrong actor, realizing it and forgetting to get rid of it. Which would make sense that it was a Boolean as well, because that's kind of like the default variable when you create a variable, isn't it? So where are we? Oh, I'm in there. So let's drag them into the world. And we should be able to pick them up now. Pistol ammo. And rifle ammo. Let's put a couple of each in, because we are going to have to test if they stack, aren't we? There's 3 rifle ammos there. I'm going to have to set the scale difference on these. So it's going to be really small to interact with. And I'm using a line trace rather than any other sort of trace, so you do have to be quite precise. And when I'm picking up or interacting, it is based on the mesh as well, rather than like there's no collision box around that I'm interacting with. So yeah, you can see it light up. They are tiny though. Alright, so let's pick up you and you, and yeah, we got a bunch of pistol ammos and rifle ammos in the inventory. And they drop just fine. So it's one of the beautiful bonuses of having, oh, I don't know where you went, of having master blueprints and children. It's so easy just to throw something together and have it work like that. So because all the code works for a master pickup, which all these are and all those were, I can just throw a bunch of variables in there and it will just work. But obviously with these, because they're stackable, we do have to do some different things now. So in, where are we? Inventory item button. Let's get another text box in there again. I did have one, but I got rid of it because there was some errors. So let's put it central. Put the size a little bit. Let's put the size of both of them a little bit smaller. Actually, 24 is far too big. Try 16. See how that looks. And an outline. Should we have a different color for the stack size? Something in red. It looks a bit ominous, doesn't it? Let's have it grayed out a little bit. See how that looks. So I'm going to bind this one slightly different. This one's an easy bind because it literally was just selecting the variable it's bound to. This one is going to be a little different because it's not always going to show something there. Because if we're picking up a sniper rifle, we don't want any text block there. I don't think, anyway. It might be an option in the future to use this for non-stackable items for some item stats. So it could be the damage or something, or it could be user selected. We could have a filter or like a sorting type thing, so we can set this to damage or range or whatever we want. Not going to worry about that right now. The small steps. So yeah, we're going to have to bind this slightly different than we did with the last one. But we do still want a variable for it. So let's create a variable stack size, quantity will work. And It's going to be an integer because it's never going to be a decimal for quantity. I don't think. Can't imagine why it ever would be. And we're going to do the usual expose on spawn. Now this is where we have to go into our open inventory and do some things here. So let's first of all do the thing. By the way, if anyone commented on my last video of how to do this without selecting a different one and whatever, I'm recording this before anyone's actually commented on that video, so thank you for commenting if you did. So this quantity now, quantity 0, I think that's fine on here, but I think we need a branch. We need to, do we need a branch? Does this part need to know if it does need to know if it's stackable, doesn't it? Yeah, of course it does. And it needs to know if it's stackable right from the beginning. Okay. No. Stop this. The pickup needs to know if it's stackable, doesn't it? It's this bit that's going to get more complicated. Because when we pick up, instead of just adding to the inventory, we're going to stack on the same sort of item. So that's where we need to add that. And the open inventory, all it needs to do is send a quantity to that. So in the button, this text block will bind and we'll create the binding. We're going to get the quantity. And I think if we do something like if it equals, why can't I spell equals? If it equals 0, then it's obviously not a stackable item. Because you won't have 0 stacks of something. So we can have a branch on that, duplicate U. If it equals 0, then we'll set that to nothing, and that should have no text in that box now. So if it's a sniper rifle and it's not stackable, that'll be set to 0, and that text box will be empty, so you won't see it. And if it is stackable, we'll just set it to the quantity. Think that logic works, does it? Oh, I don't know what this is. Minimum integral, maximum integral. Does that mean the maximum you can have is 324? Or do I just not know what integral digits mean? I think the latter is probably true. So, excuse me. So does that work? Where's my ammo? Yep, we've got 20. And if we pick up a rocket launcher, we've got nothing. So we've got the quantity on there. They're just not stacking now, are they? So let's get them stacking. Back in here. So it's quite nice that we don't have to do much with this, because I think this is quite nice and neat at the moment. So it's here. We're picking up. It's giving us the pickup struct. Let's disconnect you for a second, because that's going to happen a little bit later. We'll break the pickup struct to the thing we're picking up. And we want a branch. And if it's not stackable, we are just doing that. if it is stackable, then we need to get the array, and would it be find? Finds the index of the first instance of the item within the array. So if we were to just plug that in there, and the same struct existed, it wouldn't though, would it? So what if you're picking up different stack sizes? What if you've got, I don't know, 30 pistol ammo in your array, and it's looking for a pickup struct that only has, and it's comparing it with a pickup struct that only has 10 ammo in the array. So that can't work, I don't think anyway. So I think if we do a for each loop with break, let's try this. So for everything in our inventory, we are going to compare something in the pickup struct. Probably do names, couldn't we? Didn't it say somewhere that names were quicker to compare? Nope, that was the wrong equals, wasn't it? Case insensitive, let's do that one. Alright, so for each loop, do we have something with the same name? This is going to get spaghettified very quickly. Spaghettification is one of my favorite science terms. Yeah, there's nothing else I want to compare there, I don't think. I think name would be the best option. We could compare the class, but that, I don't know why, but that feels like it's more expensive than comparing names. That's just text, so so we compare the names, get a branch and the loop body, and as soon as that rings true, we can break this. We'll stop it from looping. Now I've seen this sort of system on a couple of videos, but not a lot. I'm sure there's another way of doing this. But if you don't understand what's going on here, it's probably because it's a mess. But basically we'll run the array, run everything that's in that array, and we'll compare the names of everything in the array, compare it to the name of the thing we're picking up. As soon as it finds that, this will ring true. So before we find it, this is just firing, and it's false every time. False, 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 false. As soon as it finds it, it's going to ring true and stop the array from doing anything then. Which means the last thing that's on the array when it stops will be the item that we're looking for. If it doesn't find a name that equals it, then all that means is we haven't picked up the item before. We don't have any pistol ammo to stack on top of. And that's easy to do then, because you just do that. You just add it normally. But if we do find something, we then need to we need to add the quantity to the thing that's already in our array. So my concern is I don't know how all this happens. Let me go through it a bit clearer. And if you do know the answer to this, then please leave it in the comments, because it's something that confuses me sometimes, is that I can do something in my player. Let's get my player blueprint. So what the player does when he's picking something up, they'll destroy actor. So they get the struct from the item we're picking up. We send that to the inventory, and then we destroy actor. If we're destroying the actor, does that mean this pickup struct disappears? Because we're not saving that anywhere in any sort of variable. We're just sending it around, and it lives in this actor at the moment. So then if I was to send it to the inventory to pick up, all it has to do is get that pickup struct and put it in that array. So does that mean it's doing that before the actor gets destroyed? This is quick enough to do that. And then maybe doing this won't actually do it quick enough before that actor gets destroyed. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that. I hope that made sense. It's something that confuses me sometimes, but we'll see how it works. That might turn out that that is the case. The actor does get destroyed before this loop finishes, and which means we don't have a struct to compare anymore. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, right, yeah, we're looping. We find it, and we break it. No, we don't break it, do we? We can set set members in pickup struct. So we can set the stack size on completed. Do we want it on completed? It's going to break. Uncompleted will happen whether this rings true or not. It's always going to end up here. So I think we can have another branch. Right. So if it's true when it finds something, we're going to set that stack size. I think we do need to break that pickup struct. I hate breaking the structs to set these variables because it just gets messy, doesn't it? Look at it already. We're not doing a huge amount. And that's not the only one we're going to break either. We're going to break this one too. So stack size, I'm going to add that stack size to that stack size and shove it in there. And do we then need to set this sets members in the pickup struct? I don't know if we need a separate set struct node after. I think we do. And if this is false, oh, this needs to be connected, doesn't it? If this is false, it's just going to do this. All right, I'm going to leave it a mess for now, but I can't keep it like that because look how nice all this looks. I don't know. I kind of lost where I was going with this, so I have no idea if this is going to do anything. So we've got rifle ammo 20. Let's pick up some more rifle ammo. Rifle ammo 20, it's stacked. Didn't change that number, but we didn't get a new button for it, did we? And we did for the pistol. Right, so that's something. Now if I drop that and pick it back up, that's still rifle ammo 20. Okay. Right, there's progress. Something happened. Let's tidy this mess up. So, I don't want that going. So I do think this is working. I just don't think we're sending that number to that new number to the button. That hasn't changed. It should do though, actually. Especially when we open and close our inventory. Let me test that again. Oh, I've got nothing in there now. What didn't I connect? What did I break? I haven't changed anything, have I? I don't think I changed anything. Oh, what just happened? Can I pick up these? I can pick up them. So it's got to be a branch with stackable plugged into it somewhere that I messed up. A stackable branch, true. You do the thing. This seems a bit dirty as well. I don't think that's necessary, is it? I mean, we could just do a normal loop, and as soon as it's true, do that. Maybe. I'll leave it as this for now, because I've done this before and I know it does work, although it's making me look like a liar right now. I still don't know how I broke that. What did I do? So, got the struct. Is it stackable? Yes. So we're going to check if we've got it in our inventory. We're going to compare the name to the name of the stuff in our array. If we find something, this is going to ring true and stop this array from happening. But we're not currently getting that far, are we? False into there. Yeah, that's what it was. So let's keep it tidy. And which false was it? It was this one, wasn't it? It's the problem of having these two branches next to each other. And we want to add this thing. More spaghetti. So I'm not convinced that this, I haven't really used these too much before, I've only just started using them. I'm not convinced this is actually doing what I think it's doing. Set array element, oh god no. Or do I? I've never used this before. Let's see what happens. Because yeah, struct A, it's like this will be setting that stack size, correct? But it's not doing anything with it after that. I don't think. Let's see what that does anyway. That's a couple of new things for me here. 20 there, there's 40 there, there's 60. This is stacking. Love it. 10. Right. Oh, that's really nice actually. So if we drop that, pick it back up, it's back to 20. That's fine though. We're picking them up fine. So this works. It's just messy as hell, isn't it? So it's the dropping we need to look at. So when we drop an item, we spawn into the world. Yeah, of course. Of course it's not working like that. So when we drop an item, we spawn into the world, and that's it. So the default pickup struct within that item, just like we picked it up, that's like the default. That's all it has again, because we're not actually setting the struct in anyway. So a very simple fix for that. If we go into the master pickup we want, this pickup struct, expose on spawn, instance editable. It already is. So I figured that would let us set it here. I wonder. The master pickup there, pickup struct. If I plug that into it, the pickup struct disappears. Okay. So yeah, it's not till after that we can get access. That's okay though. So master pickup, we can set a pickup struct. As that one. And that should save the quantities, and it'll also mean that anything we've edited per instance should save their instanced variables as well. So we've got 60 rifle ammo. Drop you. Don't disappear. Pick it back up. And we've got 60. Brilliant. So what time are we on? We're on 37 minutes. Right, we need to make use of the drop slider, which I created for my previous version of this inventory. So if you haven't seen that, it is widgets, drop slider. So we can select how much we want to drop, whether we want to drop it all, and of course you're broke. Alright, so we've got the interface messages. So that inventory component there is our old one. So first of all, we can delete that. And inventory component, yes, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. This is pretty much the only thing that's going to be relevant, and we need to set that value somehow, don't we? Oh yeah, everything's broke. So I might leave this here for this video, and then, because the drop-in of stackable items, that is probably the most difficult part of these stackables. And not that any of it's difficult, some of it's just a bit tedious and annoying, and especially with the drop slider as well. I think it's the only way you can do it, really. But yeah, it's a tedious, horrible job. So I'll do that in the next video, and then hopefully by the end of the next video we can start having some fun and equipping weapons and things again. That's when it starts looking good. I mean, like if you're equipping weapons on your back and your hips and drawing them and things. I haven't got the animations for drawing them yet, so don't get too excited. But yeah, that's when it starts to feel like a game, once you're doing that. The old system I had for the previous iteration of this inventory, I didn't like. That's where kind of my main issues were with equipping items. It just didn't feel quite right. So yeah, we'll work on that, and I'll do something completely different to the last time. So last time we got these, and we'd select an item over here, click over here, and it equipped them. We could have 4 different equipped items. But for one, they didn't show up on your body. It'd be nice to have like the pistols on your hips and the rifles on your back or whatever. And for 2, there was this overly complicated way of telling the weapons where they could equip to, which I didn't like. It's not a complicated thing to do, so I want to work on making things more simple rather than making it complicated, because I don't understand the simple way of doing it really. So we'll have a good think about that. But yeah, sorry again for a long video. Next one, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably going to be a little bit longer with the stacking and equipping. But if you're still here, thanks for sticking around, and I'll speak to you next time.